So we're going to jump in right here and try to do a night. We've got a picture of a pretty aggressively carved knight. Try to make a profile of it with the help of my sisters. We'll just see how it turns out. I found that I have this piece of wood that we're going to use. It's just a long piece of maple, hard maple. Out about 30 years ago, I've left over for making a table. It should be using something like boxwood, which is much probably easier to carve because it doesn't have the grain variations and varying density in the wood. But we're going to try this for a starter. We know this is just a practice run, but we'll do our best. So we've cut ourselves a block of wood here. It's about 1.5 by 2.5, 3 inches long. I'm going to make a knight out of it, but it won't quite fit in my chuck, so I'm going to turn it between centers down. Just knock the corners of this off so it'll fit in. So we have the foot basically turned. It's not the greatest foot, but I figure this is not going to be the last of this, the finished product anyway. Now we're going to drill a hole in the bottom that will be used for the lid and also be used to hold, well, on this piece it won't be used for anything other than that. This won't go back on the lathe after this. All the rest of this will be carving. But we will use this hole to mount it back to hold it. Now we take our block of wood that we have a base for. This is the knight. We glue our profile and picture on the sides of it. See, we're almost done. Okay, so we have our old block of wood with our profile and our picture on. Let's try cutting some of this out. This is like 2.5 inches thick, so there's a few saws that I can cut this with, but the bandsaw should be able to do it. The blade's a little dull, but let's see how it goes. There's one side. Settle for not getting too close. Better than leaves me more to carve away, but it's better than not having enough. On this side. Sorry. Stop before reaching in there. Now, that's a lot less wood to have to carve away. Well, next step, we need to work on the other side. Of course, we cut this off, so Let's put this back on. Put the other side back on just so it'll lay flat on the saw. Now this saw isn't capable of doing any intricate, well, with this blade, it's not capable of doing any intricate turns, so I'm gonna have to move to the Okay, here we are, finally set up at the jigsaw. I haven't used this in a number of years, had to take it out of the corner. But we have our little profile cut in one direction. Now this is thin enough, now I should be able to use the jigsaw. Of course, when I cut this off, took the picture off, so I had to glue another copy on after the sawing. Now I don't know how this is going to work out, but have to keep reminding myself the objective is not to get too close, because we're taking just to minimize the harm. Hopefully you can see what's going on after that disastrous attempt of holding it up over its bandsaw. I tried to mount the camera. It's probably a little further away than it should be, but better than me trying to hold it. Oh, not so good. I let it go. Got caught. Broke the blade. Oh dear. Didn't mean to show you that. Alright, we're back in operation. Got a new blade. Have to be a little more careful. I'm lucky, you know, that the scroll saw is one of the least likely tools to take your appendix off. So screwing up like that wasn't really a pain. But it wasn't good on my nerves. Smoking a little bit there and doing something wrong. I don't know. Should be alright, I don't know. That I had cut away to make it flat, but that just wasn't working. It kept binding. I think that was my problem. So I glued this back piece back on with some super glue. Hopefully I'll be able to get it off fairly straightforwardly after I'm done cutting it. Now I have a flat surface. Hopefully that works better. We'll see. It does seem to be doing much better now. That was the problem also. Okay, so now we've got a lot of carving to do, and a lot of sanding and carving to shape this up. So we need to be able to hold it some way. And the way they did it on the web was they put it back on the lathe. And the way we do that is using this hole. We come up with this jig that is something that screws on the lathe, a couple of blocks of wood, and turned hole, a knob to fit right into the hole, a screw through the center of it to screw into the knight and hold him on there. So I'll get this mounted and be back to you. Alright, so there he is, mounted on the lathe, ready to work. I'd rather have him over on the bench top where I'm sitting down more, but we'll have to figure something out. Just get to work on them. That's all I can say. Okay, now maybe you can see him. Alright, he's mounted on the lathe. I can turn him around like this. And he should stay there. First thing I'm going to do is try to get rid of this piece of wood that I had to glue back on here. Hopefully not bust up the whole thing doing that. Oh, that was quite straightforward. That was good news. Now I have the slightest idea where to start next. What do you think? Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow.